Today I'm going to be sharing my dream story of my experience living in an ancient tribe from thousands of years ago. Welcome back to Tipharot, it's me Matt here, and if you want more stories like this one, or if you want more lucid dreaming content in general, then be sure to subscribe and enable notifications on my channel because I've got over 500 lucid dreaming videos here, and I'm releasing more all of the time. With that in mind, let's get onto this story itself. So this is a really cool dream to me because of the setting, because it was actually set thousands of years ago and featured me as the member of some kind of tribe. Now I don't know where in the world we were, as there was a little bit of weirdness going on with the locations, which I'll explain in a little bit. But all I know is I was a member of this tribe, and it was sometime in the very, very distant past, at least in the dream it was. So in this dream, I was actually the eldest child of the village elder, like the leader of the tribe, I guess. Or one of the leaders of the tribe, because I'm not sure if it was just one person or if they were like a group, because I remember at one point in the dream talking about the village elders, plural, as if there were a group of them that kind of controlled things. But it's possible that one of them was in charge and the others were just sort of like a council of advisors or whatever. I'm not really sure exactly how it all worked. What I do know is that the village elders decided it was time to expand. We had our little village, and I think we had a couple of other villages in other places, and they basically said that they wanted to expand and start a new one. And so they decided to send one of the children of the elders, and in this case it was me, to actually go off and start a new village and be one of the elders there, I guess, in the new village. So I went off, and this is where things get a little bit weird with the locations, because now when I actually reached the location for where I was going to start my village, which I had to search around for a bit, I was trying to find a place that looked suitable to settle. And I found a location that was like half a dream location that I've never been to, and half a location from my old town that I used to live in England. So it was kind of like a mishmash between the two. And it gets even weirder when I actually started building the town, because I actually started building up these like wooden huts and stuff, and there were other people there helping me. But the wooden huts that I was building, they were like almost like something out of Minecraft or a similar game like that, because I was building these houses, but it wasn't like I was putting them down stick by stick. It was like I was putting down a chunk of the house at a time. And it was weird because I wouldn't describe it as like voxel based block type thing like Minecraft. It didn't look like that, but I wouldn't quite describe it as like real life looking either. It was somewhere kind of in between. I guess maybe if any of you guys have played or seen the game Valheim, it looks sort of like that, except I've not played that game, so I'm just going off what I've seen in videos anyway. But I built up a few houses, and then I wanted to plant some crops because for whatever reason I was certain that this land that we were on was really fertile and would produce some great crops. So I planted a bunch of crops, and this also went weirdly because I wasn't there like doing it by hand. I was just sort of looking at the area that I wanted the crops to appear and then just watching them like all get sown in the ground and then watching the crops actually grow in like real time, as if several days were passing or weeks or months even. And so in a span of what was like a few minutes of real time, I watched this whole small village get set up and populated with people. And I remember feeling super excited about it and going back to my original village to tell the elders I'd set up the new village and to arrange trade routes and transportation. And at some point in the dream, I don't know whether it was at this point or if this actually happened before I founded my village, but at some point during the dream, I went off and I found these other locations that would be great for villagers. And one of these locations actually just straight up was a place from my old town in England. It was a place that I used to go with my dog on dog walks. And it was just that place was going to be the location for a village, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it isn't really a big enough location for a village. But in the dream, obviously, it's just dream logic. It doesn't really need to make sense. So at one point, I'm at that location in my old town, and at the location where a village was going to be set up, but we just had like some supplies there, and I remember there was an issue, like it was too far away from our existing villages, and so we were having some issues transporting stuff back and forth, and it was just this kind of thorn in our side, this location that we weren't sure how we were going to turn it into a proper village. And at this point, one of my friends arrived, and she was actually the daughter of an elder of another village that was in the dream that we were like allied with, I guess. And she came to tell me that her village were interested in this location, you know, the location that we couldn't seem to get a village started at. And they seemed to be super interested in getting this location. And I just remember thinking, well, this is actually great because we don't actually want this location anyway. So I thought, hey, we can get something out of this. And I suggested to her that, hey, why don't our villagers arrange some kind of deal where you perhaps send some workers from your villages to come and help with the construction of our new villages, and in exchange you guys can have all of this land and start a village here. So I was excited to go back and actually arrange that with all the elders, but I didn't actually get that far. I remember that I sat and I talked with my friend in the dream for a little bit longer, and then after that I woke up and actually wrote the dream down. So now that I've shared my dream, if you actually want to share yours, then share it down in the comments below, because I love reading your dreams and hearing what you guys got up to. Whether it was getting lucid or an attempt at getting lucid, or just a regular dream that you found interesting, share it down in the comments below. If you'd actually like to learn more about lucid dreaming and get some help with mastering it, then I highly recommend checking out my lucid dreaming book, The Lucid Dream Book. There'll be a link to it in the top right hand corner if you want to find out more, or you can check the link in the description down below. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications if you want to stay up to date with my videos. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of the videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care.